Miss Myrtle Woldson is not a name many recognize, yet her influence in Spokane's history might surprise you.
Miss Woldson's story is a really important story to tell precisely because she is such an impactful figure in Spokane history and really was one of the key players who made Spokane as we know it, sort of the modern layout today.
She excelled in business in a man's world.
The wealth that she had, she built for herself. She made a fortune in the 20th century in Washington State, and when she died, she gave it all away.
But nobody knows who she is because so few female philanthropists and businesswomen in the period that she came up in really received the limelight.
There'd be streets, schools, or parks named after her. She would have been a man.
Myrtle Woldson was born in 1910 to Martin and Edwidge Woldson. Her father was a Norwegian immigrant who made his fortune in the railroads and investments in mining operations throughout the Northwest.
He's the American success story. Pulled himself up by his own bootstraps, moved to Spokane with a young bride at a moment when Spokane was sort of a booming area.
Martin had a profound impact on his oldest daughter.
We hear stories about Daddy, as she referred to him, being in his office making business deals, and Myrtle sitting on the stairs listening and sort of hanging on every word that he had to say.
Being part of Spokane's social elite, Myrtle and her sister Frances were expected to meet certain social expectations. Myrtle's mother, Edwidge, taught her how to be a true lady.
These girls were trained in how to be polite, how to be engaging in conversation, and as they grew into young women, they also were trendsetters within Spokane society. And so the newspapers were very quick to describe the dresses that Frances or Myrtle were wearing.
At a young age, Myrtle developed a deep appreciation of music.
She was a classically trained pianist. Friends and relatives tell stories about Myrtle practicing for hours every single day to perfect a piece.
She had an innate love for music, but also a love for the opera. She, for many years, went to the opening of the opera in San Francisco, a lifelong member of the Spokane Symphony.
After college, Myrtle moved home to live with her parents. She never married, and for years worked alongside her father. She soon was investing her own money buying property in the very center of Spokane.
She wanted to buy a parcel of land on Havermale Island in the middle of the Spokane River. And we know that place today as the site of the former Expo. It's a wonderful park, but in the 1950s it was an industrial zone. It was covered in railroad tracks and warehouses. Why would you want that piece of that eyesore?
It is my high honor and privilege to declare Expo 74 officially open to all the citizens of the world.
And so this turned out to be a great investment.
She took her profits and bought property in Seattle's waterfront district.
And invested in essence, a burnt-out building in downtown Seattle when many people had given up on Seattle. And that really became the genesis of what was a very successful real estate company.
By the time Martin died in 1958, Miss Woldson, the name she now preferred, began conducting all her business dealings from her very elegant, very feminine home office on Cliff Drive.
I think that this moment of positioning potential business partners who would have invariably been male in this highly feminine, highly orchestrated space is certainly a way to establish her power.
She was engaging in a man's world of finance and investment and property ownership, but she was writing the rules because no rules existed for a woman to do this.
Over the next 5 decades of buying and selling properties, Miss Woldson would build her own multi-million-dollar enterprise.
Myrtle was nothing if not incredibly active about how she owned her own life. She had an incredible sense of agency for her business profession. So I think that she gained the reputation of maybe being a difficult business partner, and I think that that's a very particularly gendered impression, that a man who had such a clear sense of how he wanted to invest his money would have been thought of as savvy, and she was difficult because she refused to take the advice of men who wanted to tell her what to do.
Like her mother, Miss Woldson loved all things French.
I would refer to her as a Francophile. She loved everything about French culture and French decor. She favors an 18th century Rococo design, which is incredibly opulent. I mean, everything that you can imagine that you could put gilding on would have gilding. Every place that you could hang a crystal from a chandelier, it will have that crystal.
The love of classical French design extended to her backyard garden.
Her precision from inside her home continued to the precision outside her home, where all the flowers were measured at the distance of how far they were from the next.
Miss Woldson was a philanthropist throughout her life, but she did not seek the limelight. She gave quietly to the things she loved: the arts, the Fox Theater, Catholic charities, and Gonzaga University.
And she gave it away to the things that she thought were most meaningful. She gave it to the performing arts. She gave it to scholarships so that kids can go to college.
In 2014, upon her death at age 104, Miss Woldson surprised everyone by leaving a $55 million gift to Gonzaga University. The Myrtle Woldson Performing Arts Center is a beautiful tribute to the woman whose passion for the arts made it all possible.
She's transformed the face of Spokane. Her gift to the Fox Theater helped to ensure that it would remain there in downtown Spokane. Her gift to the city parks helped to remodel and maintain the Edwidge Woldson Heritage Garden. Her gift to Gonzaga reshaped the campus. And so in that respect, she did reshape the landscape of the city through her giving.